Hey guys, today we're gonna do Silksong. Silksong. Oh, oh, Silksong. Oh my God, Silksong is real. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, so we got Hornet and Masquerado jumping around, bouncing around, and you might think, oh, it's just Masquerado. I don't even care, dude. I don't even care. But look at this. It looks like Hornet is on the edge of Masquerado here. It like this is the edge of it. Like after the Moss Mother. I'm sure you all remember. I'm assuming we're going into this assuming that everyone has watched all of the previous footage of Silksong at least like 20 times. So you have it ingrained in your head. But anyway, I probably should have pulled everything up beforehand, like all the different previous trailers. Anyway, so the after the area with the Moss Mother, you go up and you meet like the person playing the fiddle or whatever, or the viola. I don't know. Uh, okay. Yeah, you meet the person playing the viola, and there's kind of like it's a rocky area. Uh, and yeah, since Moss Grotto was supposed to be like the starting area of Silksong. Oh, okay. This Moss Grotto is supposed to be the starting area. And then after you beat the first boss, then I would assume you're leaving the starting area, right? So this is probably on the edge of the Moss Grotto, because after that you're moving into rocky territory. Either that or the rocky bits and the mossy bits are intertwined with one another. I don't know. And we have this cute little guy here. The backgrounds are very detailed, like every single room is as detailed as the one oblobble area. Or no, yeah, oblobble? No. The floating Whormp, the one Whormp background in the God Home DLC. Every single background is as detailed as that one. So this area, this is very, very interesting. So we have obviously slope. Hornet is sliding down a slope, and the first impression is obviously it's supposed to look like snow, but we have these puffball things, kind of like dandelion sort of puffballs or like tumbleweeds or something. But it's obviously slippery still. So I don't know. This is some sort of Hollow Nest unique thing. And we have, more of these spores or whatever floating along in the background like snow. And in the foreground and everywhere. And speaking of the foreground, we have how do I get this off screen? How do I get him off? Yeah, there's uh like some sort of scratching or frost border all around. You can see it if you look closely. Hopefully like the compression on this video doesn't ruin it. Yeah, let's get the 4K while we're at it. I changed nothing because I have a 1080p monitor. Okay, so now let's look at the HUD. And the HUD is probably going to be the most interesting part of like all of these because there's a new feature. You might have noticed it. This little thing right here. Previously in this area, we had exclusively tools, but now we have this little thing, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first of all, we have this crest, which appears a few times within the new material, and it probably appeared before. This is probably like a starter one because you only have one tool slot and one of these. I say one of these, but I'll explain how I think these work in a moment. So we can see it's let's talk about this first. Okay, so we have this thing, and it kind of looks like a syringe, like the lifeblood syringe. Let me look it up. Lifeblood syringe, Hollow Knight Silk Song. Lifeblood syringe. Yeah, here we go. This. Uh, it looks similar, right? So maybe it's some sort of lifeblood, maybe a new type of heart. That would be cool if you had like you know how the lifeblood honey, what are they called? I don't remember. Honey. I'm just gonna call them honey masks. So the lifeblood and honey combination masks worked. Like it would probably work something like that. If you lose one, then it can regenerate, unless if you get hit again, then it won't come back. So that would be cool. That would be a cool little thing. But the problem is in Silksong, a lot of enemies are gonna hit for more than one damage. So probably not gonna be very useful unless if the honey blood regenerates all of the masks that you got hit for, not just one of them, like in Hollow Knight. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the background real quickly. This is probably the most Hollow Knight, Hollow Nest looking background that we've seen. I just say that mostly because of the color palette and the architecture looks similar, like this buildings. Like the shading is kind of different, the gradients, but we have this kind of cobbled together look here. And stalagmites, stalactites, stalactites. And these pillars, yeah, so kind of looks like Hollow Nest. Reminds me of Hollow Nest architecture. Now, finally, I've been edging it. This. What is this? Well, let's go to the next screen. We have this ability, which looks like the other one, and it looks kind of like the swirling um silk strand ability. And it's glowing. And Hornet has full silk. Let's see what happens. Oh, she uses the swirling silk ability. Wow. So maybe this is how you use spells in Silksong. They're tied to your crest. But maybe not. Let's hold our horses and we'll wait for a moment. We'll wait for something else. So we can see that Hornet has silk and so it's glowing. And then in this one, in the previous one, it's kind of hard to skip around because if I do the arrow key, that's going to send me to the complete previous trailer. Why did we only get 6 seconds, dude? I don't understand. Really? 6 seconds for Silksong? Hopefully we get a Nintendo Treehouse playthrough tomorrow, assuming this goes on out on April 3rd. Hopefully we get one on April 4th, 2025. That would be quite nice. Because I want to see Silksong. Surely they will. Like today was for first party, and then tomorrow's gonna be for third party. Surely. Okay. So we have this grayed out thing, and no, there's no silk, and it's not able to be used. It's grayed out. And then when Hornet has silk, can use glowing. Okay. So pretty cool. So this is gonna be some sort of magic ability, but we'll come back to this again later. I want to look at all of the examples of this, and then I'll explain how I think it's gonna work. Meanwhile, we have these caltrops, and we can see Hornet has actually used them. Or I guess spikes is a more accurate word. Let's watch them in action. Let's slow this down a little bit. And let me turn the music. This enemy gets slammed into it with the silk. It kind of seems random why it went in that direction. Because the other thing got blown away. This guy got sucked in. Maybe it was trying to do a jumping attack and then it got interrupted, but it was still doing it. Oh, I think I kind of see what happened. So watch carefully. Gets hit? No. Okay. We're going along. It gets hit. Then it does a down slash, and it gets hit into that spike. It pops, the spike pops up, and then it explodes. And that's the end of the clip. That's the end of everything. That's all we get. It looks like either it has iframes or no. I think it's dead. It's out of HP, so that's why it's not taking any more damage. So, boom. And then it gets hit by this, and it pops up, and it explodes. So we know how these work, it seems. And then these knives, I still don't think we've seen that in action. Um, Funny enough. Oh yeah, this is better. I should have had it slow down from the beginning. So, and we still have really good FPS too because, or no, this is in 60. So, okay, I don't know what's happening. So we have, let's analyze this area now. So we have shiny floor, we have a big chandelier, and this is some sort of storage area. Maybe these are cocoons, like kind of like silk cocoons, like silkworms, and then we have cobwebs on this object. This is maybe like a sign or something, or it's a platform that would flip out. Um, my wild card guess is this is like an operation table. Like this bar, I'm imagining is like gonna rotate, and then the platform would come out, and then there would be an operation happening on this. That's like, there's candles all around, creepy vibe. That's what I'm thinking. Also, this enemy got knocked back, but then it started attacking. So it means like enemies will be like resistant to stun locking. Like they'll be partially resistant. In the original game, it was either they could be knocked back. For the most part, it was either they could be knocked back or they were completely knockback immune. But here we have it can be knocked back, but then after a while it starts to fight back. Okay, so that's basically most of this area. We have these creatures with the bell insignia on them. I think this is supposed to be like the bell, right? Like the one we see in the trailer. There's like seal binding or something on it, or like the first trailer. Okay, so that's that. How long have I been going? Nope, I did not mean to open up the. Okay, how have I've been going longer than my first take of this. How? I don't know. I don't want DaVinci Resolve open. Close. Stop. Okay, so that's the first part. Now we have this. First of all, there's no gameplay here, just cool. Like this is awesome, but there's not really much to analyze there. So now we have Coral Forest, and we have this one again, but we have 8 masks. So clearly, I mean, they're using this crest, so maybe it's just a demonstration thing. But crests might be powerful throughout the game, or they can potentially get upgraded. Because if we look at the second footage here, we only have 2 slots, it appears. One tool and one ability. But now we have 2 tools here. So maybe tools and abilities aren't dependent on your crest. Maybe this isn't a crest at all and I'm stupid. I don't know. Uh, but to be fair, you don't get any crests or tools or anything in the E3 demo. So we really don't know how any of that works. Um, so in the items we have this thing which kind of looks like golden. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it resembles the bell people and their colors. And then we have the cogfly from the Nendoroid. Um, okay. So we have an ability here, and it's glowing, and we have silk. Wow, crazy. Now this spell, this could mean a few things. It kind of looks like wings and like not sure what this is. This one resembles the flying or the swirling ability. My guesses are maybe it's a movement ability, for flying up these jet streams. Maybe it's a general jump ability, like a double jump that costs silk. Maybe it's related to the cog fly and it's like a summon ability. Like it has wings and you would use a spell or something and it boosts your minions for a little while. I don't know. Okay. As for the background, we have, very detailed background. It appears that there are about 4 billion fish in the background, and we have some coral. Then we have a bunch of these guys and one big guy. Oh, two big guys. Three big guys. There's a lot of fish here. Or maybe this is a coral reef. Okay, next one. This one, it's not really much here. We have a broken silk holder, uh, 4 masks. This area was shown in the Playhouse demo, so not much to see. A treehouse? Not playhouse. That's a little freaky. Okay. This one, there's honestly not too much going on in. But there's this gear thing. Gear new crest. Although this might not be a crest, I don't know. Maybe I mean, honestly, what speculation can we make on what's a crest and what does the health bar thing mean? What are tools attached to? Do they attach to crest? Are they independent? Can crests be upgraded? Or do they come how they are? Um, we don't have a spell in this one. Does the crest have an ability? Is the ability just what items you can put in? Is it going to be a mix? Are spells dependent on having the little ability thing in there? Or can you use spells and this just enhances the ability? There's really no speculation we can do, to be entirely honest. But I'm gonna speculate based on what we already knew, what we thought previously, but anything could be changed. I mean, we need to keep in mind that the last time we saw anything of this game was over 2 years ago, right? 2023 was when we got the trailer, or no? Xbox Silksong trailer. Here we go. Like in this trailer, we don't have any. Okay, we have the Caltrops with the Bell Beast, and then we have tools. There's the syringe I was mentioning earlier. This looks like some sort of rabbit's foot. I don't know. Why am I analyzing this? This is not the thing that I'm supposed to be analyzing right now. Oh, there's the ability that we saw again. It kind of looks like a hook shot. I don't know. Oh, here's the thing from this, right? Yeah, but it's more yellow now. Um, but there are no uh silk ability things like we see here. There's none of that. So so clearly spells have been completely reworked. Here's the little boomerang thing from this one or this one, but that's spoilers. We'll get to that in a second. So spells in the time since this have been completely reworked. This was 2022. Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, it's been 2.5 years. So really, anything could be changed. And the last time we saw actual people playing the game who didn't even really get that many abilities or tools or whatever was 2019 with the Treehouse demo and the E3 demo. So really, this could mean anything. But I'm assuming Okay, I'm gonna say spells. The answer is that these little these little thingies are the ability to cast spells. We don't see Hornet cast any spells. I mean, to be fair, we have 6 seconds of footage and 4 gameplay frames, so there's not really much to go off of. But the only time we see Hornet cast a spell is when she has the glowing ability. And the glowing ability looks like the spell that she cast. So maybe spells have to be equipped, which I think would make sense. We've seen a lot of spells, we've seen a lot of tools, so those probably have to be equipped. Well, we know they're equipped, but spells we've seen a lot of. Let's count them. We have the drill thing. We have bind. That one's obviously going to be a mainstay. We have the drill ability. Um, silking it. The jet streams are probably just a hornet ability. Like that's not gonna be its own spell. Um, I hope not. That would be kind of lame, honestly. Um, the twisty thingamajig. Okay, maybe that maybe that's it. But we have two more that are seen here. We have the actually I think we have three more. We have this thing, which looks like a fan or something, like a big shotgun blast sort of ability. We have the oh, let's go back. We have the bind or the I keep calling this bind. What is this called? Silk weave. I'm gonna call this a weaving ability. Then we have this ability, which no clue. And then we have this one, which is like a hook shot. Maybe this is the hook shot ability. Maybe this is just like a big sort of vengeful spirit clone sort of thing. I don't really know. Also, another thing I want to point out is that Hornet has 6 masks here. This is going to be like a decently early game foe. Maybe it like upgrades over time, you have to fight it multiple times. But this is insane for like a decently early boss. And this is in what area? What is it called? The Bone Forest or inspired by Bone Forest. I don't remember what it was called in the demo, but I don't think it had a name actually. But this is going to be, I guess, an early game area, which is crazy because it's so like just like insane looking. But to be fair, we do see some decently easy enemies there. Like there's not anything crazy like these guards that are like sapien. They're all like little creatures for the most part. So yeah, and we have Hornet having soul here, and looks like there's no spell ability. And there's a gear. So I guess it kind of makes sense that you wouldn't be able to equip any spells, and you have a gear, and it probably like buffs the tools or something. That's my guess is that crests are going to be composed of like either tool oriented or spell oriented or stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. Um yeah, I mean that's it, right? I think that's it. That's everything. That's my time. 24 minutes. Okay, that's still way too much. Um, yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, okay. That so concluding thoughts, spells are gonna be limited. You need to equip spells and you can only have, it seems mostly we have one per thing. I'm sure there will be at least one crest that'll have 2 spell slots, but for the most part, you're gonna have to save your silk for binding, it seems, because there's you can only have used one spell at a time. Meanwhile, you have tools, but those are also limited by refreshing at benches. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting dynamic. I imagine you're gonna want to have a spell focused crest on when you're exploring new areas so that you can keep up your silk and then replenish. And while when you're in charted territory or you're near a boss, you might want to use tools because I imagine they'll have more damage and you'll know where the benches are. So if you need to refresh, you'll be able to get back to it. Whereas if you're exploring, you might not know where the bench is, so you want to use a spell build. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm very excited for Silksong. I just want to know what all these things are. All these new things, man. Like, they've been tweaking it for years. I'm sure them limiting the amount of spells you can use or what spells you can use at what time was for a reason. Like, they found that it was better if they did it that way. So they did. So yeah, that's it. That's the yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just a stupid dumb tree.